Hey, what's going on? Ryan here, Triathlon.com, coming to you live on Facebook if you're watching this on Facebook Live. And today we're going to talk about 70.3 Memphis. In the video, we're going to talk specifically about where do you need to park for race day. It's been kind of a source of confusion, maybe frustration. I did the event back in 2021 that it was supposed to be in 2020, and they got postponed thanks to pandemics and COVID and all that kind of fun stuff. And then they did the race, but I'll kind of dive into it in the video. Parking became kind of a questionable issue, so we're going to dive into how they address that because the question's been asked. I've got athletes out there doing the event, so they want to know where should I be parking and how should I plan on that for race day. So if you hit the 70.3 Memphis website, you can see in the event schedule, transition opens, and it's all at Shelby Farms Park. So if you've not been there before, you're doing the race, I definitely would look that up on Google Maps. Make sure you're familiar with that area. I mean, basically, Ironman Village is going to be set up in one little area, and then transition set up right next to it, and that's where everything's going on. Unfortunately, it's not the most convenient spot to get to, and it behooves you to know the right parking lot to go to either make your trek the shortest or to be able to get there as efficiently as possible so you're not walking as more than you need to be walking around the day before, day of, or the day after the race, and that kind of thing. So if you look at it, it's all at Shelby Farms Park. There were murmurs of are they going to have shuttles or anything like that. I don't think they did. What can help out is looking at the athlete guide for 2022. As you can see, we'll pull that up here really quick. So as of now, recording this video, it's middle of August of 2023. The race, as you can see, is October 7th. So we've got a little bit of time, so they don't have the correct year of the athlete guide posted, which isn't a big deal. We will get through that together. So if you look, Saturday, October 1st, transition opens, Shelby Farms Park, rolling start. So in this one, it did not look like they had a shuttle to transition from parking lots, which I've verified through a couple athletes that did the race. They did not have that situation. So if you think you're looking for a shuttle, definitely you're not going to get a shuttle. But we're going to read down further. So again, this is the 2022 athlete guide, and here we are talking about 2023. So just make sure you keep that in mind when you're looking in there. We're going to go ahead and cycle through. Usually they have a race day procedure. So this is a parking map that they did in 2022. So notice they've got a few little parking areas that they've added. This used to be this parking lot, Farm Road parking lot. What it is a gravel / dirt field. So, which is fine when it doesn't rain a lot. But when it rains the day before, the night before a race, and you go out there and park, it becomes a soggy, muddy mess. So luckily, in 21, I had a truck with four-wheel drive, and it had four-wheel low. Otherwise, I was not getting out of there, even with four-wheel drive. Luckily, there's a Jeep club that they thought it'd be fun and come tow cars out of the mud and mess after the race. So be aware. If it rains a lot and you're planning on parking this Farm Road parking lot, they actually had to stop us because so many cars couldn't get through at a certain point because it had been so mucked up. So they had people parking all along these roads outside the park. It was kind of a chaos outside of the park. It didn't really affect the race as far as like the route of the race, but it affected the start time. They had to back it up, I think, 30, 45 minutes just to get everybody parked into the actual venue because this field was just a soggy mess and it just was not going to happen. So they've added a couple different parking spots, but notice the gymnastics of having to get here. This is actually kind of a decent hike. This took me about 15-20 minutes to walk. Now I was checking in my bike. I just rode it out there. When at the end of the race, I was able to ride it out to my car. So you can save a little bit of time that way. But when you're going in to do like just check in or anything like that, I definitely, if you are only going like the night, the day before the race to do your check in, your bike drop off and everything, I would definitely bring your bike with you, ride it into the transition area, make sure you're wearing your helmet because they can DQ you if you're riding around on the course and the transition area and stuff like that for check-in without a helmet. You don't want that to happen. You get the wrong person on the wrong day. It's not very fun. So bring a helmet, moral of the story. But I would ride your bike in, get checked in, get your stickers, get all your stuff, get your bike squared away, get all the stickers on it, and then check it in, get your timing chip, and then your bike's in transition. You don't have to worry about it. And then you're going to walk out. It's going to take a little bit of time. but at least you've ridden your bike one way. So if you go in and you leave your bike out in any of these parking lots, you got an overflow lot for Expo. There is like a little parking lot over here that I tried, and you walk over here, it's all about, when you're parking out here too, it's a little bit of a hike. Like I said, I tried, there's like a little visitor center over here that I parked at and walked over. It didn't really save that much more time to get to transition. Anywhere you're going to park, you're going to have to walk. And they don't have shuttles or anything, but it's all paved roads, so it's not, you're not going off-roading, it's not little trails and sidewalks. Once you get to the park, there's no real traffic or anything to mess with, so you can walk the roads. But just know that wherever you park, you're going to have a little bit of hike to get to transition, so I definitely be economical. Like I said, bring your bike in there when you're doing check-in, so you can just put your stickers on your bike and check in your bike. So if you're doing that Saturday, or you're doing that Friday to check in for the race on Saturday, bring it all with you in there, time it so you can leave your bike there, you're comfortable, and everything's checked, and leave it there. Now, if you're coming in Thursday and you want to check in, so you're going to have to hike in, hike out, come back, bring your bike in, hike out, and then come on race day, you're hiking in, hike out. So you got a few little extra trips, especially, with these parking lots, they look to be a little bit further away. But some of these are gravel, some of these are paved, but they shouldn't be as much of a problem if it does rain substantially the night or days before. It seemed like it rained a lot in 21 before the event, a few days before and the night before. So it was just a mucky, muddy mess. So if you don't have four-wheel drive and it does rain, I definitely would avoid this parking lot at all costs. I definitely would try I would stake these out just to make sure that you know that they are a suitable substrate that you drive your car in, whether it rains or not. Just beware. So this is Expo parking, so I'll show you different posts that had that parking information in there. Let's see if they have anything else like that. Timing cutoffs, timing chips, cutoff, tracker, relay info. So again, looking through here, there is no shuttle system. So if you're counting on that, even though you're like, man, that's kind of a long way to park, if there's no shuttles, you're walking it all. So make sure you get that timing down. When you arrive there on race day, if you don't account for enough time, you don't want to be running around with your head cut off because it took you forever to get into the actual transition area because you didn't account for how long you're going to have to walk. So definitely the early bird catches a worm, because when I got there in 21, I was a little bit on the early end. I think right as transition opened, I was in the parking lot, and I still was like 5 or 6 rows back. And by that point in time, that parking lot had become a pretty muddy, mucky mess. So just be aware of that. And I'm just circling through the athlete guide just to see if they had any more information on the parking situation. For 2022, that's when they added some more parking areas, because they kind of listened up from 21 and realized what was going to work, not going to work. And basically, this is all advertisement. So if you go check out their Facebook page, they actually did a post. Again, this is all the extra parking lots, but notice for race day, this is overflow for VIP. This is another parking lot. Volunteer parking, Shelby Farms, BMX track. So make sure that you're not planning on parking where it's volunteer parking, where it's VIP parking, because you'll get in trouble for that, because you get turned around and you'll waste time trying to find a parking lot. So you can go in this back road here, you can go in this main parking lot here. Like I said, if you're going to go in this main parking lot, if it's rained, you don't have a four-wheel drive vehicle, I definitely would avoid that. I would definitely stake these out just to make sure that if you do park there, that you can be able to get out. If these are dirt, I can't recall off the top of my head. I think these are more like pea gravel type of parking lots. These are actual parking lots. This is kind of a field, and then just park cars in it. So just be aware of that. So this road right here, the Walnut Grove Road, was backed up both ways. It was starting to back up when I got there right as transition open. So definitely make sure that you give yourself plenty of time to get over there and get parked. And we're talking about 70.3 Memphis. If you're tuning in a little bit later here in the video. But make sure that you give yourself plenty of time to park, because while it's all in Shelby Farms Park and it looks convenient, these, like I said, it's going to take you about 15-20 minutes to get from this main farm road parking lot, probably a little bit further from these satellite parking lots. If you got VIP, maybe it's worth it to you to save a few minutes or whatever to park a little bit closer. I believe this is a pavement parking lot, so just got to be mindful that all the running going on in here. You may run into a little bit of problem getting out afterwards. You may have to stick around for a little bit until a lot of the runners are off the course or something like that. So just be mindful of that. So hopefully I was shedding a little bit of light, because this, like I said, in 2021, parking was a big problem, because it took people a long time to get into the parking lot, and it took a long time to get out of the parking lot, and there's a lot of help for people to get out of that parking lot. My truck was covered in mud, but luckily it was a downpour on the way home, on the drive, and I couldn't see on the highway, and it washed my truck off. So there's that saving grace. But again, dirt parking lot, it rains, don't park there if you don't have four-wheel drive or a decently all-wheel drive and getting you out of there. So just be aware of that. With that, I want to kind of wrap it up. I just want to do a quick little video. I want to talk about the parking situation, 70.3 Memphis. I have a couple athletes going, so make sure that you planned accordingly. Make sure you go and staking out the parking lots, drive around, check them out, figure out a game plan where you want to park. Give yourself plenty of time to walk to transition. I give yourself 15-20 minutes just for the walking part to get from your car to the transition area and then do all your setup, all that kind of fun stuff. So I didn't see any comments during the live video here. So hopefully you're catching this on the replay. Either you're watching on Facebook again, rerun, or you're watching on YouTube. If it helps you out, give it a thumbs up. That helps get me in your searches. You can see more content. 70.3 Memphis, if that's what you want to see. Other events that I do, other triathlon tips. Subscribe, like, all that kind of good stuff on YouTube. Give you your notifications. With that, I'm going to wrap up this video. Good luck on race day, and I'll see you in the next one.